in the matter of the City of Wyandotte versus Ryan Munster, 2499.
Attorney Corey Westmoreland, appearing on behalf of Mr. Munster. Mr. Munster, would you please state your name for the record?
Ryan Edward Munster, Your Honor.
Okay, and so there's a big packet that was received by the court dated April 5th. It looks like as though it was dropped off.
Yes, ma'am. I wanted to disclose the full truth, and I did not have time to disclose that in court, Your Honor.
Okay, well, okay, but sir, it's not necessarily appropriate for you to submit something to the court. And counsel, just so you know, I just opened it just now as I called the case. It was taped closed.
Sure.
It's not appropriate, sir, for you to submit something to the court without sending it to somebody else, because that would be considered ex parte communication.
Okay.
Okay, but counsel, your client, I think it's actually important that you review this paperwork. That your
All right. So should we just adjourn sentencing, and I think I can,
because there's a lot of information in here, and it's also talking about. I have some concerns. So, is Mr. Kelly there or Mr. Barnowski? Are they in the courtroom?
I don't see him here today, Your Honor. I'd like to run.
Judge, if you want to adjourn it 1 week, I can certainly make arrangements to come down and see it. Probably either Thursday or Friday, and then I'll talk to Mr. Munster, and we'll be prepared next Tuesday, the 23rd.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Munster, I know you've been there all morning.
But can you say that a little louder? I apologize.
I said I know you've been there all morning. However, Mr. Westmoreland needs to review all these documents. They're voluminous. And so
they're beautiful. Thank you.
And so we're going to adjourn this 1 week. So it will be April 23rd. And
Would you like me to leave a copy of those documents for my attorney?
I'm so sorry. I didn't hear what you said.
Would you like me to leave a copy of that for my attorney? Your Honor, I hear with my eyes. Is there any way I can see a bigger picture of you up there? I know that doesn't sound correct, but I can't. I'm a boat mechanic and formerly in the Marine Corps, and I can't hear anything.
Okay, well, that's why we're going to do it in person, okay?
Oh, thank God.
So next week will be in person.
Sounds good. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Bonding conditions are continued.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. I hope you get better.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Okay. Go!
Hand me my screen box.
Now go free.
And then let's go on the record in the matter of the City of Wyandotte versus Ryan Munster, 2499. All right, and your name for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ryan Munster.
All right, so Mr. Munster, you previously had legal representation, and then you spoke to Mr. Westmoreland today, and you want to represent yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand, sir, that you are here in court on a criminal matter, correct?
Yes.
And that you do have the right to have an attorney represent you at all critical stages of the criminal process. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And in fact, you've had an attorney appointed to represent you, and you're choosing to now waive your right and represent yourself.
For this moment, yes. Today, Your Honor. And that is all.
Okay, what do you mean for this moment, for today? What does that mean?
Spoke with my attorney the other day, and he had some serious things to say about some evidence, and I don't like things in the way.
You don't like things in the way? I don't know what that means.
Obstacles are not. I don't like obstacles in the way.
Well, I don't know what that means.
If I can show you, I'd be more than happy to.
Well, okay, but I'm trying to make sure for the record that you are knowingly waiving and voluntarily waiving your right to an attorney to represent yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
But then you made a comment for right this moment for this here, yes, and then you didn't want something to be in your way. So I just want to make sure that you are choosing to represent yourself, knowing that there is an attorney to represent you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So the court will note that Mr. Munster waived the attorney, and the court will also note that Mr. Kelly is present in court, and that this matter, the resisting and obstructing and the malicious destruction of property is what you've pled to, and that we had adjourned this matter for screening for participation in Regional Wellness and Recovery Court. But you didn't show up for any of the screenings.
I don't understand the question you're on.
Well, there wasn't a question, there was a statement.
Okay.
So on March 20th, the court did not hold the sentencing.
Correct.
We adjourned it until April 16th because you were interested in participating in the Regional Wellness and Recovery Court, which is the mental health treatment court.
I can't hear too well, and once I explored the options in there, I was told I have a family member who's an attorney who told me not to do that.
Well, I don't know who your attorney family member is, and I don't know what that person knows or doesn't know regarding treatment courts, but treatment courts are very successful and they're a very good alternative for many people. Nevertheless, you didn't show up for screening, so you were deemed to not be eligible for treatment court in this court because you didn't appear for your screening. So we weren't able to make any determinations.
Okay.
So there has been a report and recommendation put forth that you received a copy of, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is there anything in the criminal history that is not correct? Do you have that in front of you, sir?
No, I do not, ma'am. I don't have my PSI in front of me. No. I have it on my phone.
Okay.
I'm sure it's correct.
Well, you have an opportunity, sir, if you would like to pull it up on your phone. You can pull it up on your phone.
When you say it's correct, historically correct, like document-wise?
Yes, as opposed to what other.
I have a really good memory.
Okay. All right, so nothing has to be corrected on that.
Okay.
And so under your general background information, anything that has to be corrected in those paragraphs?
No, ma'am.
No, okay, that's all correct. All right, you have your wife and your 6-year-old child that lives with you?
They're wonderful.
Okay.
Everyone. My son is really taking this whole thing really hard. When it happened, he was 3 years old. And
When what happened? This case?
When this whole thing happened, my son was 3, and he is taking, like, it's the saddest thing in the world. I'm in my 40s, and all I've ever wanted to do my whole life is be a dad, and I am not failing, but I am trying. I am like running up a freaking mountain, and everything is going against me.
Okay.
And I'm trying. I'm not gonna let my kid fail. That's not gonna happen. My wife and kid are not gonna fail.
Okay. So, sir, you are currently under the care of a doctor, correct? Because of
Several.
Okay. Which doctors? How many doctors are you under the care of?
2 full-time, and I had specialists.
Okay. And is that as a result of the seizures and the coma?
Yes, ma'am. Undoubtedly, but it's a brain thing.
Okay. So do you have a traumatic brain injury?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And scars and all.
Scars from what?
The doctor couldn't figure that out from Henry Ford, but I wrote it down.
You have scars.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Where are your scars?
Just right here.
Oh, in your brain.
No, it's not in my brain. It's right here.
Oh, on your forehead. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And definitely not the only brain injury I've had in my life. I've cracked my skull 3 times.
Okay. All right. And so Mr. Kelly is the individual is here as a named victim in this matter. And Mr. Kelly, would you like to address the court?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
No, that's fine. You can come forward, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, no, Mr. Munster, you can have a seat right there at the table right there, okay? And then Mr. Kelly, you can come here to the podium, please. And if you can please state and spell your first and last names.
Yes. Good morning, Your Honor. It's Timothy Kelly, K-E-L-L-P-Y.
Okay, first name, spell.
Timothy, T-I-M-O-T-H-Y.
Okay, I know that that's pretty much the only way to spell it, but people like to put their own spin on spellings anymore, so just for the record. All right, and sir, you are here today, and I do appreciate you coming to court. I apologize for your delay today. What would you like the court to know?
Well, the reason I'm here today is because every time I never show up at court, he makes up these false allegations, just like he's trying to do now to state that I molested his son.
Okay.
Which is 100% a lie. This harassment's been going on for 3.5 years. He's tried to push his way in my house. He's broken my window. He's damaged my siding, accused me and my daughter of being child molesters, passed out letters throughout the entire neighborhood. I mean, it's just got to end somewhere. I've done nothing to him or his family. It's all a lie. It's all a lie. It's all made up. But I wasn't at the trade court at the time he got convicted of felony of pushing my door in. He stood up there and tried to tell the judge the same thing. That's why he got rid of his attorney, so he could start this shit. So he could start this false accusation.
Okay, well, I appreciate you correcting yourself because we are on the record. And you also had some out-of-pocket expenses.
Well, he broke my window, which has never been fixed.
Okay, and
But,
is that?
yeah, he damaged my siding to my house. It's gonna cost $500.
Okay, and so that's the restitution amount of $500. It's on invoice in here. Mr. Munster, any reason to believe that the $500 estimate is not accurate?
Your Honor, there's holes all up and down inside of his house. I have wonderful pictures of it if you'd like to see it. I'm not sure where that one came from.
Sir, hold on just one moment. I'm
yes,
going to start this. I'm going to state this. You have pled guilty to malicious destruction of property. That's one of the counts that you've pled guilty to.
Yes, ma'am.
There is restitution that is being requested.
Yes, ma'am.
There is an invoice that shows an estimate of $500.
Okay.
For 5 holes, 4 on the side, 1 in the back, okay? Now, you're representing yourself, so if you had an attorney representing you, I would ask the attorney if there was any objection to the estimate of $500, or any reason to believe that this is an unreasonable estimate. Okay, so the court will order that $500 in restitution. Now, Mr. Munster, this is not the first time you've been to court here, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you also have a stalking conviction from June of 22, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Mr. Kelly, were you the victim in that one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Munster, I did review all the documents that you put forth in this envelope.
Thank you.
I was quite confused. I'll be honest, I was quite confused because I have to say, well, one, I'm not sure really what this photo is meant to depict.
Oh, that represents he's got stickers all on the side of his house, representing something that is really not family.
Stickers on the side of his house?
No,
Hold on,
on
sir.
the car, on the front of his house, he has a 12-foot skeleton, which is still there.
Which is what?
A 12-foot skeleton on the front of his house, like right now.
Okay, what does that matter?
I guess it doesn't matter at all.
I'm just asking, why is that important?
Well, that scares me, Your Honor.
Then move.
Literally, that scares the crap out of
Then
me.
sir, then move.
I literally can't right now. As soon as this is all cleared up.
Why can't you move?
Because we're not from here, and our next move is gonna be closer to family.
Okay, where's that?
We have family in Oregon, and we have family in Georgia.
Okay, so,
My family's in Georgia, and my wife's family is in Oregon, and we want, I've never had a problem with anyone on the whole planet, and I want.
well, I don't know if that's accurate because you have some prior convictions, sir. So,
I've never had a fight with a person in my whole life, man.
well, hold on, sir. You have, let me just say this. You're saying that you're going to be moving. Where is it you're planning on moving?
That's up to my wife, Your Honor. True.
Okay. So if you plan to move,
Yes, Your Honor.
and this court sentences you to probation, I don't know what I'm doing at this point,
Okay.
then you just have to submit information to the probation and you can relocate.
Are you serious, Your Honor? This can all be over in like a week?
I'm 100% serious.
Holy crap, thank you. And you read that whole thing? I feel better that somebody else knows.
Well, sir, but I'm confused because I don't know anything more than I did before I started reading all this. Because I'm not sure why you have Mr. Barnowski's voter registration card in here.
Oh, that's not his real name.
John Barnowski, that's not his real name? Why are you saying that's not his real name?
I met his mom, and his mom's name is Donna Barnowski. She's a nice lady.
Okay,
I met his dad, and his dad doesn't believe that's his name.
hold on, Mr. Kelly, just a moment.
I
Why?
gave his dad a compliment on his son one day when he's working on his house. And I said, Tim is really good at this. And he said, his name is not Tim. He said his name is Ray.
Ray?
His name is Ray Thomas Kelly. That's from his dad's mouth, not my mouth.
Okay, Mr. Kelly.
My dad's been deceased since like 2012.
Okay,
My parents have been gone for 10, 15 years.
okay, so Mr. Munster, when did you speak to his father? Because you've only moved into the area
5 years
less
ago.
than 4 years ago.
I've seen him up until about 2 years ago. He disappeared. Once the skeleton went up, he didn't come back.
Hold on, okay, please stop with the noises, okay, Mr. Kelly? Hold on. Once the skeleton came up,
And he was concerned with his dad driving by the house. We were kind of familiar with each other, and I mean, we were trying to be friendly neighbors, both sides, I believe it, for a long time. And one day it just went out the window, and I wrote all that down too, Your Honor. He needed some money, and I helped him out. And since that moment in time, it has been bad. He came at my workplace. He said, "You know, my name is Tom. My name is Tom. It's not Tim, Tom." And you have to scream in my ear for me to understand that. Because I will say, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
okay, so Mr. Munster, this is a problem with the skeleton hanging on the front lawn?
No, ma'am. If it's legal, it's legal.
Well-
I see no problem with that. That is, for me, that tells me a lot about a person.
Well, that's your opinion. He likes to display skeleton. I mean, he has a flag out there also.
It is the First Amendment is in a freedom of speech in this country.
So what's the purpose of this picture?
Well, that gets pointed at my house all the time, Your Honor.
What gets pointed at your
The
house?
firearm on top, it's a 50 cal.
It's pointed at your house.
Yes, a lot.
Is that a real gun on the top
It's a
of it?
fake gun, Your Honor. Yes, he's called the ATF on me about it too. They come out and laugh. He called the
Okay.
ATF on me too. And the Air Force. And only one he didn't call yet's the FBI. I'm surprised.
Okay, and so then there's something in here regarding, there's a laminated photo from Lowell, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Shooting suspects William Barnowski, which is spelled differently than Mr. John Barnowski,
Correct,
and his wife Donna.
correct.
But you're saying, and so you're saying that this is Mr. Barnowski's mom?
Oh, yeah. She's a really nice lady, man. I come from New Orleans and in an Italian restaurant. My family's had restaurants down there for a long time. I never had a problem with any, it doesn't matter what a person does, as long as they can be courteous to another person, they're fine. She was very kind. I saw her in the front yard, and I was doing some gardening in the back when they were having some wonderful drinks and conversation.
And who's Timothy Ray-Ban Kelly? Who's that? That's you. Okay. And so why is this important, this information regarding
Oh,
his voter registration?
just for a record of the name that they're using.
Well, that's his name. That's what he's saying is his name. And then you printed up a copy. You sent a message to the White House on
I've sent a lot of messages.
September 6th.
I got a lot of responses from them as well. I brought them all, they're all in this paperwork right here.
Okay.
On one of those White House ones, I didn't have the headings on it, and there seemed to be some confusion with that, but I brought the ones with the headings. If you need them.
Okay, so you just sent him a message regarding artificial intelligence.
It's regarding this and those two neighbors specifically,
Okay.
very, very specifically.
Okay. And then there's, something in here regarding, from Justia, regarding Commonwealth versus William Bernowski,
Correct,
regarding the murder trial.
correct.
Okay. And then there's a spotlight on prefrontal areas.
Yes, ma'am.
And who's Ray Kelly? Are you referencing Mr. Tim Kelly?
Yes, ma'am.
And so you're saying that he and the group are at war with the United States of America.
Say that again one more time. Is their quote, not mine? Their
Whose
quote,
quote?
not mine. This guy right here. That wonderful guy that likes to stand in his backyard on, in this last week, I've seen him smoking out of a crack pipe in his backyard.
Okay,
In the last 3 days.
okay, Mr. Munster, here's what I'm going to say.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you're making statements that you don't have any supportive evidence for,
Okay,
and you're potentially affecting someone's reputation.
okay.
So,
I've only taken that to officials in the government, Your Honor, or other victims, and there is no doubt.
yes, Mr. Kelly.
That's not true, Your Honor. I run a Jeep club in Wyandotte, based in Wyandotte, called Outlaw Jeeps. I've run it for 3 years. He's posted on there that I molested his son. That's part of the stalking charge.
That is part.
So he posted it online.
I did, it was a message, it wasn't
Mr. Munster,
yes, ma'am.
you are affecting somebody's reputation and livelihood.
And my daughters, my 18-year-old daughter.
That needs to stop.
Understood, Your Honor.
That needs to stop. When was that posted?
1 year and a half
Before
ago.
the stalking charge?
Yeah, that was.
It hasn't been posted since then?
No, not sensitive.
Okay.
But I blocked him where he couldn't communicate on anything. But yeah, he tried to destroy my reputation completely. Passed out the letters throughout the neighborhood that me and my daughter are child molesters and thieves. The Wyandotte police went around and tried to get them all. Detective Sabo tried, but he didn't get them all. They had numerous calls saying, "Who is this guy?" You know, they thinking I'm really a child molester because he's pumping it out.
No investigation, huh?
No,
So,
I didn't do nothing.
Okay,
No
stop.
investigation?
Stop right now. Mr. Munster, I have some serious concerns.
Yes, Your Honor.
Serious concerns. You're talking about a device stolen from Neuralink and surgically implanted in your body.
Yes, ma'am, that is what that
Mr.
30
Kelly,
days.
please stop with the noises, please.
I'm sorry.
There's a record of everything that these people do on the Neuralink app. I have an MRI of it in my head, the mental image of an MRI reader that was discussed.
Correct.
The purpose of utilizing the device to defame me and my family's name and steal everything from us. Ray Kelly is a violent offender going by several names to avoid prosecution.
Correct.
He is training his kids to be this person. They are exactly like him. Sunday, July 9th, 2023, his daughter Cheyenne,
Yep.
at 12:42 a.m. gave Ray Kelly an order to kill me. He is still trying. He uses this device to control when I sleep. He thinks of it as a video game. The meth addict needs to go back to prison where he belongs. So, sir, you're president of the area council of Boy Scouts?
That's former, as of right now, I provide support for my rabbi and my former leader. So it's strictly administration, but in the past, I've been the president of the area council in the world is where I'm from. And that's the whole council, I think it was 5,200
Okay.
during that time.
So tell me how you know of a terrorist in Texas posing as a United States Air Force airman.
I've already discussed that with Texas and with the Air Force,
And then you're saying that,
and she's already incarcerated.
oh, okay. Who live, sir, what is your address again?
1075.
So you're saying that the person that's the poser lives at 1070,
See the first couple words in that sentence I missed.
the person that you're stating is posing as the United States Air Force airman,
She was arrested. Only there, and she's currently incarcerated.
incarcerated, but your daughter's at home, correct, Mr.
No, I have
Kelly?
a second daughter that is in the United States Air Force, but she lives in Arizona. She's a staff sergeant.
Okay, she's not incarcerated, correct?
No.
Mr. Munster, I have some serious concerns regarding your mental well-being.
Okay, I understand that.
I have some serious concerns.
Cool. I can understand that. Today, I am very happy that you are looking into this, and it's been 3 years of my life.
Looking into what, sir?
Your Honor, I'll accept whatever you need to tell me here today.
I'm not looking into anything, any allegations that you're making against Mr. Kelly. If you're referencing that this court's looking into allegations that Mr. Kelly stated you stated 3 years ago, this court is not doing that. This court's not an investigatory department. And then there's a Winter Hill organization circa 1975. What's the relevance of Winter Hill organization? Other than referencing James Bulger, who's also known as Whitey Bulger, that you referenced as well. And so I'm not sure what the purpose of this organizational chart is.
John Stead he's in that flow chart.
Who is?
John Stead.
Mr. Barnowski?
Correct.
Which you're claiming is Mr. Barnowski's dad, but it's spelled differently.
There's a 1-letter difference. I've met his mom.
You're claiming you met his mom.
Yes, it is.
Well, there's 2 letters difference, sir, just so you're aware. There's 2 letters difference in the spelling of the last name. So,
A Y and an I, what's the other one?
well, I'm not going to bring that to your attention. I'm not going to tell you what that is. You can figure that out for yourself because they're not the same person.
Okay, if that's clarified, I'm done and I'll be out of that house in a week, Your Honor. I want no problems. I want to raise my kid in a very peaceful spot. And you're saying I can take my family to those spots with the court, and you're saying I could have done that months ago?
What I'm saying, sir, I don't know if you're prohibited from going to those states for any other reason. What I'm saying is that this court orders you on probation, and you are moving to another state, then you would have to communicate that to probation.
Okay.
Give us the information.
I had asked my probation officer about that before, and they said no traveling to other states.
You can't travel, but if you're relocating and moving, that's different, sir.
I didn't know that. Thank you, Your Honor. Yeah, we won't be there. I have a ton of job offers, and always I'm a full mechanic. I was getting ready to jump back into it right here. I'm happy to do that in another place, Your Honor. And if you're saying that is not the same person, I will hold that in my heart to be the same, and hold your decision to be mine. If I owe someone money, I will pay it.
I'm looking at this obituary of William Barnowski, and he doesn't have a child named John at all.
No.
And you're claiming, I'm sorry?
His mom calls him Adam.
He doesn't have one of those either.
It's got a strange last name behind it. A real strange last name.
Sir, when's the last time you've met with your doctor?
Month and a half ago, and then about a month ago. And I speak with my doctor pretty regularly. About once a week, a week before last, probably about 20 minutes.
Well, here's what the court's going to do, because I don't know that probation is going to serve any purpose for you, sir. You've previously been on probation.
Already go ahead and schedule myself for community service downtown for 4 days in the next month. Project Clean Slate. I can find another venue. And
Project Clean Slate? What are you doing with Project Clean Slate, sir?
They asked for a volunteer. I'm happy to help. I'm sure it's just paperwork.
What do you mean they asked for a volunteer?
Or they were looking for volunteers, so I signed up.
And where did you see this request or this notice?
I looked for volunteer opportunities in Detroit with the city.
Yes, sir.
About him moving, he also stated that he told the Detroit judge that he was gonna move when he got convicted of,
Well, yes. Well, and so are you still on probation for that matter, sir, downtown? What's that?
That's not so. He got off in February when he started throwing the rock. They let him off a year early. He had 3 years to give him to we got out to. didn't start
Right, because there's been a change in the statutes, and so that allows for early discharges. So, well, sir, in this case, the recommendation is 30 days jail. I'm sorry, is incarceration and restitution. Given the fact that you've been on probation to this court previously, you've also been on probation with the Third Circuit Court, and I'm not sure how they must not have known of the of this violation when or this matter when you were discharged from probation.
I'm still on probation, you know. I don't know where he's coming up with that. He knows I have his phone number and I texted him.
Detective Sabo said no.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm going to let you know what the status is, because we're going to look on the Third Circuit Court website right now.
Your Honor, I would be happy to do some sort of larger deferred if something else happens. And I mean really larger deferred, like 2 years deferred.
Well, I don't know what that means, deferred.
If like if something happens again or then immediate, I would be happy to do something like that.
Well, okay, I'm showing here probation continued, extended, signed and filed March 6th
Correct.
of this year. There's a show cause, which is likely from as a result of this violation.
It is. My probation extended through 2025 originally, and it has not been taken down. Nope. That's it.
It appears though he's still on probation.
Detective Sabo said no.
I understand, but I'm looking at
Yeah,
the
that's fine.
register of actions on the matter, and it
We
looks still,
violated that then too.
it was extended.
That was a 7-year felony.
Well, so what I'm showing is this appears to be, because there was a show cause hearing on March 6th, that I'm going to, I don't know what the reason was for the show cause, if it was a violation other than this case, or if this case caused the violation.
It was this case, Your Honor.
All right, so
I can't get in the way of my son or supporting them right now. And if there's any way to not go to jail, that would be amazing. That would be incredibly amazing.
well, sir,
My son is really,
is really what?
I can't be without my son. It's a him thing. If I need to go somewhere else with him, I'm fine with that. But I don't, my son has been without me too much in the last 6 years. And he's like starting to develop.
What does that mean? He's been without you too much in the last 6 years.
When I go to jail, when I've been to literally only jail or only legal problems with this group, literally.
What group? What group?
This group,
What's your,
Arraignment and Kelly. Okay.
well, that's not a group, sir. Those are two neighbors.
Okay.
So, you know, here's the thing. You're currently on probation, so putting you on probation for these matters would not serve any additional purpose. There's not a reasonable ground to depart from MCL 769.5 as far as sentencing you to probation. The court does find the only option it has at this point, in addition to the restitution of $500, is going to say the court's going to order incarceration.
Is there a way to transfer that to like a fine, Your Honor?
No, sir, there's not a way to transfer that to a fine. Mr. Kelly has been the subject of multiple criminal activities by you.
Okay.
So, no. You certainly can appeal this, sir.
How long do I have to report to jail, Your Honor?
Today. You're on report right now.
Can I call my family and let them know where I'm at?
The court's going to order 60 days jail. The court's going to also order $500 in restitution. And the court's going to waive the fines and costs.
Is there any way that you do 30 days, Your Honor, pretty please? I need
No.
to move my family.
No, sir. No. 45 days jail. If you want to relocate after you are out of jail, then that's on you. But that's also because you're on felony probation. You need to communicate with your probation officer there. So, All right, you're going out this door with the court officer today. Anything else?
No, man, my briefcase is back there.
Okay, the court officer will grab that. All right, thank you. Have a good day.
How do I go about that? Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, have a good day.
I apologize if there's anything.
Mr. Munster, I would just stop right now, okay? All right, and we are still on the record in the matter, all right, so we're on the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Willie Bryan, 24464. And Detective, please state your name for the record.
Detective Devin Geiger, Wyandotte Police Department.
All right, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony about to give this matter the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, and you may proceed on the warrant.
On April 21st, 2024, approximately 21:45 hours, officers Austin Sloan and Jonathan Rasmussen were operating in a fully marked patrol vehicle from the Wyandotte Police Department, car 71, which is fully adorned with Wyandotte Police door patches on the sides, police red and blue lights, and audible sirens. The officers were in the area of 8th and Hudson when they observed a Ford Explorer bearing Michigan plate Edward Robert Adam 7245. Operating with an apparent expired license plate, which was expired from April 10th, 2024. While continuing to follow the vehicle, they observed the vehicle traveling southbound on A Street, then turned westbound on Alkali Street. While doing so, it failed to signal turning. The officers attempted to make a traffic stop, and the vehicle came to a stop near Core Street in Alkali. Both officers wearing fully marked patrol Wyandotte police uniforms with patches walked up to the vehicle, and passenger and driver of the vehicle observed a lone occupant and operator of the vehicle identified as William Clarence Bryan in the driver's seat. As soon as they reached the doors, the vehicle sped off. The officers ran back to the patrol vehicle and pursued after the vehicle while relaying this information to Downriver Dispatch. The vehicle exceeded speeds. The speed limits on those streets are 25 miles per hour. The officers had a difficult time trying to stay with the vehicle, estimating the vehicle was traveling more than 60 miles per hour. The vehicle then came to the intersection of Cora and Goddard, where we disregarded a stop sign and colliding with a vehicle being operated by a juvenile and a 17-year-old female. The vehicle then struck a tree and was disabled. The officers then attempted to get Mr. Bryan out of the vehicle, but refused to unlock the doors. After some time, he did unlock the doors. They took him into custody. Inside the vehicle was what appeared to be spilled alcohol, intoxicants, beer on the floorboard of the vehicle. They saw cans. Also, they saw narcotic paraphernalia in the vehicle, described as chore boy, which is used as a filter and crack pipes. They found a clear plastic baggie wedged between the console and driver's seat with a white substance in it, which was field tested positive for cocaine, approximately 3.75 grams. Also on his person was a reported crack pipe. The officers, due to the condition of the accident, requested a search warrant for his blood because he exhibited signs of intoxicants, of being either under the influence of alcohol and or drugs. That test has not come back yet. It's been sent to Michigan State Police Laboratory. That's it, Your Honor.
Upon examination of the complaining witness, I find the offenses charged were committed, that there is probable cause to believe the defendant committed those offenses. And counsel, your appearance, please.
Attorney Corey Westmoreland appearing on behalf of Mr. Bryant. Mr. Bryant, would you please state your full name for the record?
My name is Willie Clarence.
Okay, sir, I can't understand anything that you're saying.
My name is Willie Clarence Bryan.
All right, thank you. And counsel, as to the arraignment.
Yes, Judge, at this time we are prepared to waive a formal reading and my client stands mute to the charges.
The court's going to waive. The court's going to waive the formal reading. The court's going to also state the following, sir. You have the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, the court will appoint one to represent you. And in fact, you've had an opportunity to speak with an attorney today. Is that correct? Mr. Bryant, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, the court is going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. Schedule this matter for a probable cause conference on May 2nd at 9:15 a.m. The court's also find a petition order for court-appointed attorney for felony matters and ask to bond counsel.
Yes, Your Honor, I would like to know that Mr. Bryant's currently residing in Detroit. He is retired, which means he's on a very, very, very limited income. He's not currently on probation or parole. He does not have any other pending matters that we're aware of at this time. And after speaking with him at length, he did assure me that he would be appearing at all future court dates, and he has no history of absconding from any honorable court. I would just ask that all that be taken into account when assessing a bond on behalf of Mr. Bryant.
Mr. Bryant, where are you, from where is it you're retired?
I'm medically retired. I gotta get Social Security. Below 65 on Social Security.
Okay. And so, where did you work prior to retiring?
I worked at Great Lakes Steel.
All right. And have you ever failed to appear in court before, sir?
No, I've never failed to appear in court. I'm always there.
Are you currently on probation or parole anywhere?
No, I'm not. I have no warrants, no probation, no parole.
Okay. Are you currently out on bond in any other jurisdiction?
No.
All right. And detective, as to bond.
Just the seriousness of this case, Your Honor, the fact that the defendant fled from the officers, we consider him a flight risk. At this point, we're understanding that one of the occupants of that other vehicle is still in the hospital. We just asked that because there was an allegation of potential alcohol or narcotics use involved in this or under the influence at the time, request a tether or no alcohol, no drugs by the defendant. And just to assure his presence in court, 10%.
Your Honor, I'm not a flight risk, and I will appear at any court dates that you make, and I'll be there with no problem. I will not run, I will be there and handle whatever you suggest.
Well, sir, in addition, one of the purposes of bond is, in addition to making sure you're going to be appearing in court, the court needs to also ensure the safety of the public. And that's where a lot of people seem to forget that, right? It's not just about making sure you're appearing in court. I need to make sure that the public is safe. And given the allegations in this matter, there was an accident as you were fleeing from the police, is what's alleged. One of the victims is still in the hospital as a result of that accident. The court does find that the request for a $10,000, 10% bond is appropriate. In the event you post bond, you're not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs unless prescribed. You are not to be released on alcohol title through the Wayne County Jail. And sir, do you have a valid license?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and the court will see you back on May 2nd at 9:15 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Is this Mr. Washington or Mr. Malone?
Mr. Washington, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. We're on the record in the matter of the City of Wyandotte versus Reginald Washington, 24465 A and B. And appearance counsel?
Attorney Corey Westmoreland, appearing on behalf of Mr. Washington. Mr. Washington, would you please state your full name for the record?
My name is Reginald Antoine Washington.
Okay. And good morning, good afternoon, sir. And counsel as to the arraignment.
Yes, Judge, at this time we are prepared to waive a formal reading. My client stands mute.
All right, the court will waive the formal reading, enter a plea of not guilty. for purposes of the arraignment, and we'll schedule this matter for a pretrial on May 1st. And as to bond counsel?
Yes, Your Honor, I would like to know that Mr. Washington currently resides in Ypsilanti. He has no other pending matters at this time. He's not currently on probation or parole. He does work for Grubhub. In the past, he's never failed to appear for any reason whatsoever, and he did assure me that he would be appearing at all future court dates. So I just ask that all that be taken into account when assessing a bond on behalf of Mr. Washington.
All right, and so Mr. Washington, are you currently on bond in any other jurisdiction?
No, I'm not.
If you were to test today, sir, what's in your system?
No. Am I?
And, I'm sorry?
If I was asking if I was allowed to speak, I wouldn't have any issue getting here if I can stay in the Southgate area if I have to, instead of going like commuting back and forth to Ypsilanti, just to like assure you that I will make my court appointment. But
And if you were to stay in this area, would you be staying with Mr. Malone in Southgate? Is that where you'd be staying?
while I was staying at his parents' house, it's not his house.
But he lives there?
Yes, or I can send it closer commute.
Well, sir, the court also wants to make sure that for the safety of yourself and the public, that there isn't any methamphetamine in the area as well. So here's what the court's going to do. Who do you live with in Ypsilanti, sir?
That's my parents' house.
Okay, so your parents, you live there with your parents?
Yes, ma'am.
And you, Grubhub is your main source of income?
Yes, it is. I was recently doing DoorDash. I get my income taxes back like in a few days from now. It's almost been 14 days. I'm not trying to prolong this and try to like, I just want to plead my case because can nobody talk, can nobody tell my story or stand up for me more than myself. I have been to rehab twice. I've been to 2 mental institutions. Nothing is going to stop me from doing what I need to do further than myself. Despite this, I had 6 months away from getting my own license. For it being just clean, nothing on it. I've been trying to get Uber and a lot of other driver jobs, and I have been like turned down because of my record. I will state that in my life, drugs have made me pawn things in and not have any money. This is the first time I've been able to say my drug addiction was cocaine. This is like a dip and dab, like, hey, not doing nothing. Friends smoke weed, and hey, let me do this. I have been at the best state where I've actually been able to like pay everything off and do the right thing. This one little niche was like hindering me, but I have not lost my foundation. Not no class or anything else is gonna make me stop unless I need to stop for myself. So you can give me whatever you want. You can put whatever you want. I'm 40 years old, man. I've been doing it since I was 18. I have got to find myself in this. And when I was mentioning that, as far as the Southgate situation, ain't no little kid, ain't nobody gonna make me stop or want to do something that I can't do for myself. I just wanted to stay.
Okay. All right, well, I appreciate all that, sir. So the court's going to assist you in that. Not to possess, consuming alcohol or drugs unless prescribed, $5,000, 10% fine. We'll see you back on the May 1st. Thank you. So off the record for a moment. All right, and so the court's going to go back on the record in the matter of the City of Wyandotte versus Brendan Malone, 24466. And appearance, counsel?
Attorney Corey Westmoreland, appearing on behalf of Mr. Malone. Mr. Malone, would you please state your full name for the record?
Brendan Kelly Malone.
All right, and counsel, just as a matter of housekeeping, you did represent Mr. Washington, and Mr. Malone is a co-defendant, Mr. Washington, so would you like to just ask for his concurrence in the waiver of any potential conflict?
I don't believe there's any conflict, Judge.
Okay, and so counsel, as to the arraignment.
Yes, Judge, at this time we are prepared to waive a formal reading and my client stands mute.
All right. The court will waive the formal reading, enter a plea of not guilty for purposes of the arraignment and schedule this matter for pretrial on May 1st at 11:30 a.m. I'm sorry, 11:45 a.m. And adds to bond counsel.
Yes, Your Honor. I would like you to know that Mr. Malone currently is somewhat unemployed, but he is a caretaker for his mother, where his mother does pay him. She has a whole slew of health issues. He's not currently on probation or parole, and he did assure me that he would be appearing all future court dates, as he does want to get this matter resolved and behind him as quickly as possible. So I just ask that all that be taken into account when assessing a bond on behalf of Mr. Malone.
Okay, so Mr. Malone, have you ever failed to appear in court?
No.
No. Not at all?
No. No.
Well, it appears though there was a warrant for your arrest.
Yes, I didn't find out about that until yesterday, but I was never given a court date either. There was
What?
I was never given a court date for that or charged with anything, to my knowledge, until I think the officer said September.
Okay.
And it was, the incident was back on 12/23/22.
Okay, and so what was the incident, sir?
I had like a medical thing while driving and I had to be taken to the hospital. And then when they came back, the officer came back and took my blood and then told me to be looking in the mail for papers, but nothing ever came. And then I was contacted by someone from there to like do something for them, to work for them. And that was it. And then I just found out yesterday that it was a warrant. I have been in contact with the officer who arrested me, and I guess I can still work for them or whatever.
What city was that in, sir?
Birmingham. But I've never got any correspondence for a court date, had a court date, or like telling me that I had a warrant.
Okay, well,
Or
and what is it you do for work, sir?
I was doing like DoorDash, but I've been taking care of my mom. She has like cognitive impairment and congestive heart failure and like some other issues. I was getting paid by AAA, but like the time for that ran out because it's almost 3 years. So now she
Time
pays
for
me.
that is what, about 3 years?
They only pay you for up to 3 years. So now she's been paying me, and then like I've been working on, we're trying to get it so like Medicare will pay me, and so she doesn't have to or whatever.
Okay, and so sir, if you were to test today, what's in your system?
I think just methamphetamine. That should be the only thing. I was in the hospital over the weekend, so whatever they were giving me while I was there.
Okay, well, wouldn't it, presuming it'd be prescription medication, it wouldn't be methamphetamine, correct?
No.
All right, the court's going to, based upon the nature of the charges and previous criminal history, the court's going to, for the safety of Mr. Malone and the public as well, the court's going to order a $5,000 10% bond. You're not to possess or consume the alcohol or drugs unless prescribed. We'll see you back on May 1st. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right. And on the record, the matter of Tracy McKenzie, RWRC 23116, the warrant, there's been a warrant issued for Ms. McKenzie for a significant amount of time, and therefore, as a result of her absconding nature, the court's going to remove Ms. McKenzie from the treatment court program. All right, off the record. All right.
Good night, Scott.
We'll see you tomorrow. All right, you here tomorrow, Mr. Westmoreland, or no?
I am not. I'm not back till Friday, if there is anybody in custody Friday.
Okay, well, I'll see ya. What's the next? I'll see you Wednesday, I guess.
Right?
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
You have got to be kidding me. What is going on today? This is a joke. This is a joke. Today is an absolute joke. We need an interpreter.
I need an interpreter when I cannot express myself sometimes.
Joke. Oh my God, sir, put that cigarette out. I don't give a crap that you are outside of this. What is wrong with everybody today? You know what, Miss Reed? We're gonna start bringing people in person. People gonna learn how to act in a courtroom.
Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Ma'am? Ma'am? Can you hear it?
No.
Okay.
I have no patience for that. And trust me, out of the day, I'm gonna be, I'm the one that needs a drink.